Alright everybody, it is time we go over a little bit of news inside the NFL as there has been a trade. The Browns send Carlos Hyde to the Jaguars for a pick. The pick is a 5th round draft pick in the 2019 draft. This immediately improves the Jaguars backfield, which contains TJ Yeldon, David Williams, and Jamal Charles. He led the Browns anyway, with 382 rush yards, 5 touchdowns on 114 carries, and that immediately will fills the hole that Leonard Fournette currently is leaving on the Jaguars offense because he's been out since week 4 dealing with injury after injury. So until he's ready to go, this is a very nice complimentary piece. He initially joined the Browns just this offseason from the San Francisco 49ers on a 3-year deal worth up to $15 million. So the Jaguars are actually getting off pretty cheap on a good backup running back. That will serve as a nice tandem piece for when Fournette is healthy enough to return. So I would watch for someone like Jamal Charles or David Williams to be cut from the team going forward, as they now have Carlos Hyde. And now the Browns, as for the Browns, how they also win in this trade. This is a win-win, by the way. I think both teams are walking away with solid pieces here, as the Browns get a draft pick, and they now get to look at the future of their running game with Nick Chubb, who this season has already gained 173 yards and 2 touchdowns on 16 carries, averaging 10.8 yards per carry on 33 offensive snaps. The Browns' backfield now consists of, let's see, who was it? I think it was like Duke Johnson Jr. or Senior, and of course Nick Chubb and Dontrell Hilliard. So those are both teams walk away with a win, as it makes sense to just trade a 5th round draft pick. The Browns signed a pretty smart free agent they knew that would draw interest should there be an injury to a team that could contend for the playoffs at the running back position, like the Jaguars, who need a running back to kind of complement their offense because Blake Bortles can't do it all on his own. So that was a good move, good trade overall. Expect to see a lot more trades within the next 11 days as the trade deadline looms nearer and nearer and nearer. So let's go ahead and look at the other bit of news today, is that the Cardinals, as I predicted in my picks video, have fired their offensive coordinator Mike McCoy just 12 hours after their embarrassing defeat on Thursday Night Football, 45-10. Pretty much just exactly what I predicted. They fired him because he was unable to get the offense going again. So they just basically, I'm not going to read the bullshit media report that he came out. Here were the Cardinals' offensive stats under McCoy. 13.1 points per game, 31st in the NFL. 156.1 yards passing per game, 31st in the NFL, and are dead last in total yards per game at 220.7, and rush yards per game at 64.6, kind of indicating this is one of the worst, if not the worst, offensive football. They can't utilize the talent on the roster, such as David Johnson, Larry Fitzgerald. The receivers they have are not that untalented. They have a backup running back that's very good. So a lot of this falls on the coach's lack of creativity, inability to get David Johnson going. What was he doing, putting so much on a rookie's plate, making him know so much? It's just too much. It's just he wasn't creative. I mean, under like Bruce Arians, the way Bruce Arians ran the team, it was, look at the numbers right here, kind of say it all. He went down to 18 touches per game, 71 yards a game, 4 yards per carry, from 132 yards a game and 5.7 yards per carry. That's kind of on the offensive coordinator, regardless of how bad the offensive line is, that he needs to work around the fact his line isn't good and find other avenues to score, and he just wasn't doing that, leading to him being fired. I also believe there's a small bit of other news in the NFL. I think it said that Raiders, Marshawn Lynch will miss at least a month with a groin injury, and Khalil Mack is questionable for the New England Patriots game. So, and Gordon was limited in practice with a hamstring. So pay attention to that for your fantasy football. I guess that's about it for the really big news in the NFL. I guess the biggest story is the Browns have traded Carlos Hyde over to the Jacksonville Jaguars for a 5th round draft pick. And the Arizona Cardinals are now in the market for a new offensive coordinator after firing Mike McCoy after one of the most embarrassing starts I've seen in a long time. So I guess that is all. Thank you for listening to this DER TV presentation. I am Rob. If you like this video, please like the video or whatever. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. And let me know what you think of the trade of Hyde to the Jaguars. What other trades might happen in the league this year before the deadline pops up? And what do you think the Cardinals should do to fix their offense? I think they needed to do what they did and possibly fire Steve Wilks, but we'll see how they address the rest of the team going forward and possibly in the offseason as I don't know. They're probably going to finish with the worst record unless they play the Raiders, who will lose to them because the Raiders are tanking. Remember, the Raiders are tanking. All right, have a good one. Thanks for listening. Bye bye.